welcome to the Webcast for Monday, April 20th. I'm South Ops meteorologist Jonathan O'Brien. We're starting the week off with mostly sunny skies, but do have a few high clouds around and a more pronounced frontal band of thicker cloud cover approaching the coast as an offshore low-pressure system moves towards the region. That frontal band will continue to slowly push eastward through the day, though today will remain a dry day for just about all of us with a good deal of sunshine in most areas. Here's a look at some wind observations this morning with the wind gust values shown in red. We have an onshore flow pattern in place, and winds are fairly light at the moment, but we already see a smattering of 20 to 30 mile per hour gusts, mainly from the southwest to west, and by this afternoon and evening, more widespread winds of 15 to 25 miles per hour with gusts to 40 miles per hour will surface across the interior mountain ridges and desert passes. Temperatures will remain on the warm side today, but they will begin to cool, especially in coastal areas and in central California due to the increasing clouds and onshore flow. But we'll still see upper 70s and 80s across much of the interior, and while higher humidity will start to overspread central California, it'll still be pretty dry across interior southern California with minimum humidity once again in the single digits and teens. So combined with those breezy westerly winds, we will see one more day of locally elevated fire weather conditions, at least where cured grasses are present in the interior. The main weather story this week will be that offshore low as it slowly approaches the California coast the next couple of days, then moves inland on Wednesday, bringing us cooler and wetter weather early this week. And behind that low, all indications are that a broad troughing pattern will remain in place through the end of this week and likely beyond, keeping cool and at times showery conditions in place over our region for a pretty long time to come. Showers will overspread the central coast late this afternoon or this evening, then slowly push inland and southward through tonight and Tuesday before gradually tapering off on Wednesday. Activity will remain most focused across central California with just some lighter shower activity south of Point Conception. From there, Thursday and Friday look to be mainly dry, but another weather system looks to ripple through the continued unstable troughing pattern by this weekend. That will likely bring another round of fairly widespread shower activity and at least some light additional accumulations during the upcoming weekend. Speaking of accumulations, here's a rainfall projection going through Wednesday night, so just covering the first weather system for the next couple of days. Widespread rainfall totals of 1/2 inch to 2 inches are expected across central California, locally a little higher in the Sierra. Totals will be much lighter over southern California, mainly 1/2 inch or less south of Point Conception, with some areas seeing very little rainfall. Snow levels will be fairly high, around 7,000 to 8,000 feet, but there will still be some decent snowfall across the high terrain of the Sierra above that level, with several inches to a couple of feet of new snow expected. One thing all areas will see is a strong cooling trend. After the slight cooling today, we'll see a larger drop on Tuesday and then bottom out on Wednesday as the low moves onshore. Valley highs by then will drop into the 60s and low 70s. We'll also see continued breezy westerly winds across the interior mountains and deserts. A few degrees of warming are expected on Thursday and Friday, but it'll be pretty negligible, and by this weekend, temperatures will cool again as that next weather system moves in. So the main story is that we appear to be entering a prolonged pattern of near to below normal temperatures with no signs at all of a return to the heat that we saw back in March. Dead fuel moistures have been on falling trends in recent days with a very dry air mass in place. We'll see things bottom out today and then see strong moistening trends over the next few days with upward trends expected in all classes of dead fuel moisture. This pattern will also be good for preventing any further drops in live fuel moistures and will encourage increases in live fuel moistures for some areas coming out of dormancy. With the cooler and wetter weather moving in, fire potential will be on a downward trend this week. For today, there is still a low but present risk for a larger grass fire across the interior of Southern California this afternoon, as it remains fairly warm and dry and will have that breezy westerly flow. But by tomorrow, the large fire threat will become very low, and the upcoming weather pattern will likely support a prolonged period of minimal fire activity across the region, likely at least through the end of this month and probably into at least early May as well. So despite a very early start to shoulder season type conditions in much of the region, it does not appear that we are in for an early start to high fire season type conditions, as things do look pretty tame for at least the next couple of weeks. That's it for today's webcast. Thanks for joining us. The next one will be on Wednesday, April 22nd.